Hey, what's going on, everybody on YouTube? Steve here, Raiken Profit. Happy New Year. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Tonight we have a special show with my buddy Ronnie Hart, and he's got a YouTube channel, Hart's Pickers. Also one of the admins over at the popular reseller Facebook group, the Reseller Society. So yeah, we're going to be talking about eBay. The topic is how to sell on eBay and succeed in 2017 with Ronnie Hart. And Ronnie's been selling on eBay for, I want to say, 3, 4, 5 years now, and he's been very successful. One of my mentors, when I had first gotten started with clothing, taught me a bunch. And not only someone who taught me, from the technicality side of you should do this, do that, what brands to buy, but just someone who's motivated me as well to kind of know the possibilities with eBay. So yeah, why don't I introduce Ronnie? What's going on, man? How you doing? What's happening? Happy New Year.
Absolutely. I mean, it's good to be on. My words. My wife was actually on a show yesterday, which I thought was pretty cool. So she was on by herself. So I mean, I'm just plugging along, just getting ready for winter. We're getting a winter storm here any day now. Tomorrow, yeah. I think. So it's going to jam up the weekend. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's just, I got a bunch of things personally coming up that I got to, trying to still make it happen out of a 2-bedroom condo, which is getting harder and harder. And the thing is, I don't want to move, because then I got to move all my inventory, and then we want to buy a house here shortly. So it's like we have to make this work.
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting last few months, and then trying to figure out exactly the best plan to get into this year and move forward.
Awesome, man. So yeah, welcome to the show. For the folks who don't know you, can you tell them a little more brief history about like what you've done with reselling and selling, and why people should listen to you? What's Ronnie Hart's track record?
I mean, last 2 years on eBay, I've done over $100,000 in sales. I did take last 2000. Trying to think what year we're in. 2015, I did 127,000 on eBay. And then last year I did about 115, but it was actually different because we moved back to the house. We got rid of our warehouse in March. We actually slimmed down our listings from about 1,000 to 700.
Oh, nice.
And have stayed around 600 to 700, but still doing the volume that we need to do. I mean, there's a lot of tinkering, I think, that goes into it with eBay. You're constantly trying to figure out what system works best. And it's just to try to move ahead, not stay complacent, and kind of just stay a little bit ahead of the curve and just keep going. I mean, that's just all it is. It's finding out what's selling, what's not selling, and don't pick up what's not selling.
Yeah, I mean, that's the name of the game right there, staying ahead of the curve. And, that's kind of what we're going to be talking about tonight, and tonight's show specifically is not only eBay and how to succeed, but kind of how to stay ahead of the curve. We're going to talk about, some reflections, from 2016 on eBay for both of us, but especially Ronnie. So we'll talk about some reflections of 2016, and then talk about 2017, maybe some things that we're looking out for, maybe some patterns we've noticed, some good, some bad. So yeah, let's dive into it. But first, let's go into the comment section and see who's in the house right now. I want to welcome everybody. It looks like we got over 100 people watching live. So if you guys are watching live, smash that like button, show some love for being a live viewer. If you are watching this not live, you know what? We got love for you too. And give us a like. Let's just know we're doing a good job, and helps to get this video out to more people like you who are looking to learn and grow and network. So what's going on, the Valet Picker? Do you know the Valet Picker?
I've talked to him a bunch of different times. I was supposed to meet up with him last year.
I was at Savers. He's in the comments right now. I was at Savers yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to do my laundry, so I ran over there real quick just to pick up a pair of shorts, which probably isn't any better because let's not go into that. But anyways, I was there picking up a pair of shorts, and I seen him picking. He was in my territory picking, and I came up behind him, and I reached over him, kind of like one of those annoying customers, and freaked him out. And he looked at me. He's like, Steve? I'm like, what are you doing, man? Because he's from Massachusetts. But Valet Picker, welcome. Danielle Phillips, Axel Rosa, Susanna Hutchison, what's going on? Hi, boys. Thrifty Treasures, what's going on? Thrifty Stone Mason. Raquel Rodriguez, Better Barbie. I like that name. Ronnie, your wife was great on the Flipping Easy show yesterday. So we got some love for Ronnie's girl in the comments right now. What's going on, TD Paul? So a lot of people in the comments saying hello. Smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes before the show starts. But all right, let's dive into it. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, or as a vegan would say, which I'm not vegan anymore, let's get into the tofu and the lima beans.
I just had steak and potatoes before we started.
So we went over the introduction a little bit. Let's go over some reflections of 2016. Let's talk about 2016, when you started 2016, January 1st, 2016, and then you ended the year. Looking back, I mean, did you meet your goals, your expectations? Did things change? I mean, what do you have to say about 2016 and concerns with eBay, Ronnie?
2016 was a very interesting year. I kind of got burnt out a little bit in the summer. I just went in a stretch. It started probably in May. We went on vacation in May for a week to New York City. And after that, we had my brother, my brother-in-law, my mother-in-law. We had a lot of people. And for whatever reason, I just lost my momentum with eBay. Like before that, I mean, we had a $1,400 sale. We had like a $1,500 weekend the next weekend. So we were doing really good. But I was just kind of like falling out of it a little bit. And then we went into yard sale season. And I was just not finding shit during yard sales. Like, it was just like, you go into the wrong area at the wrong time or something. You're just a few minutes behind somebody constantly. And it was just like, man. And then thrift stores were just, I don't know. I was tired of thrift stores at that point. I was like, I ain't thrifting thrift stores for a while. But I just took it off. I just literally it's like, I'm not, I just took most of the summer off. I only listed like 100 things over 3 months.
So what months did you take off?
June, July, and August.
June, July, and August. Okay, so January, February, March, April, May. So the first 5 months you were kind of going really hard?
Yeah, I mean, but it was different because we moved from the house to the warehouse. And,
okay.
It just seemed like all year I was trying to play catch up. Really bust my ass to get things done all year. And I have a feeling it's going to be the same this year. I can't wait to actually get situated so I can actually move forth with what I want to do in 2018. This is my transition year, as I'm going to call it. And hopefully, there's two different ways it can go. Like I had in my last video with my wife, it's either she's going to win out or I'm going to win out. One of us is going to win out at our what we want to do. And it's just, it's all up to one idea, really. And then it can spur off into a bunch of different things and how that wants to work out.
So do you think 2016, getting burnt out and, there's a little time where you weren't finding stuff, do you think that was a mental thing? Or do you feel like you weren't pacing yourself, or maybe you weren't waking up early enough for the garage sales? Were there any fundamental differences you noticed in 2016 from 2015? Or was it just more of just not putting in the effort or just needing some time off?
I think I just needed time off. I think when you go kind of full force all the time, it catches up to you, and especially when a lot of your business is based. Well, my business is based around two different selling platforms. It's really eBay,
Amazon,
and Amazon. I cut back on because of all the new rules and new different things. Gating this, gating that before I mean, I'm luckily into a lot of those categories. I can sell shoes. I can sell clothing. I can sell CDs. I guess somebody was telling me that's gated now. And I was just like, what the hell? This is crazy. But, I'm just happy I still have that avenue. If I want to pursue that avenue, I still send stuff in occasionally, because if I'm in a thrift store, if I'm out somewhere, I'm not going to pass by money. You're going to sell it still, but eBay is where I want to focus more. And, it's just this year I got to get some things situated to move forward.
Yeah, I've always noticed, one thing I've noticed about you, Ronnie, is you've always been kind of a long-term thinker. like you don't really just do things just to do it. Like you've always kind of had a plan of like you wanted to buy a house or you wanted to hit this type of number. How important is that for you? How important was that for you in 2016 and even moving forward in 2017 to have that vision, to have that goal of whatever it is that you want to hit some mark?
I mean, it's necessary. I mean, you got to realize where you want to be and what things you have to cut out. Like us, we had to cut out the warehouse, unfortunately. Bank was telling us that they wanted us to see us save more money.
Yeah,
So
because
that
I was going to ask you
that was
why,
about
because
$1,000 a month.
yeah, I was going to ask you why, because I know that you were enjoying having the space and,
Well,
being more organized and
there was a
everything.
lot more issues to that warehouse than too. The heat and the air conditioning
Wasn't it leaking?
It was leaking. I showed
Yeah.
pictures about it. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it was like in my group and stuff. I had shown videos of like just water pouring in, and I'm like, I don't know
Had a pond with ducks.
how much longer. Like inventory never got ruined, but at what point do you just say, you know what? It was not the right place for what we needed.
Yeah.
Maybe more of an office space would have been needed or something like that. But it was what it is. I mean, our lease was up, and it just took my wife a little nudging to say, no, I want out of this. This is it. I want out. And unfortunately, you have that other partner, and happy wife, happy life.
Did you learn anything from having a warehouse space besides making sure that the roof doesn't leak in the heat? No.
It was bad from the beginning because we got into it in September. My wife was away on vacation in England, and I rented that by myself. And that right there would have been.
I remember you telling me that.
The red flag, because she was not too thrilled when she came back about that decision. You just got to move forward and figure out what's the. I don't know. He wound up selling the unit. We didn't know that he was thinking about selling it till we said we were thinking about leaving, and then he was like thinking about selling that unit, and then he sold it for, I think, about $100,000.
So looking back, I mean, I know you had your reasons. What were your main reasons for wanting to go into a warehouse space? Because I know of a lot of people, right? And I remember, a year and a half ago when I had first moved into mine, I ended up leaving. I had a lot of reasons for going in. And then at the end of it, looking back, I have a lot of reasons to why I'd advise others to not go into it unless it's the right reasons. What were your reasons for getting the warehouse for the people out there who are like, I want to get some extra space. I'm sick of working out of the bedroom. My girlfriend hates me because it's like a JCPenney outlet. Like, what are the reasons to go into going into a warehouse space or something like that?
For us, it was the space. It was to have more space because we're in a smaller house. I mean, a smaller condo. So you don't have a huge amount of space. So we were growing bigger than what we had. Our thing was we have our mother-in-law that comes often enough. It's just a tight space for everybody.
Yeah.
It's about 900 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it just gets tight after a while if you put in. So we were figuring, we'll get something else. It was just the wrong fit. That's what it came down to. And I tried to stick it out as long as possible, figuring it might get better. And it never got better. And it was, on my fault. I mean, you make your mistakes, you own up to it, and you admit to it, and you move on. It wasn't anything good or bad.
Yeah, I hear you on that for sure. It's a learning experience. For me, definitely space. When I was living at my parents' house at the time. And I had already transitioned over into like one of those little lockers, 150-foot, what are those things called again? Little
storage lockers.
Yeah, little storage lockers. And I was looking to grow and expand. And, obviously I moved into my place, which was, I think it was like 600 square feet, which it wasn't as big as yours, but it was a step up for me for more space, but also because I wanted to hire people. I wanted to have a couple employees. And at the time, my ex-girlfriend was helping me out, and I had a friend who I wanted to hire as well, because I was literally bringing clothes over to his house, and he was picturing them and listing them and then bringing them back. And it was just, it's just more and more processes. So, for you and your wife work together, right? You don't have any employees?
No, it's me and my wife. I mean, we do this 100% full time. If we ain't making any money, we We ain't doing the listen. We ain't doing the sourcing. We ain't making money. Somebody's going to be taking my new truck I just got.
So would you advise, hopefully not, people moving into 2017, 2018 to get a warehouse, or would you really say whatever you can, try to work with your space, because maybe the overhead, maybe, the issues with leaking and heat and just landlords and more systems. What would your advice be for somebody who maybe they're at the 500 clothing mark or 500 items mark? And you know how it is when you get to 500, it starts to get, a little spacey. What would you say to that person?
I mean, it all depends, I think, on where you live in the country and how much you're making. And if you could afford it, you can afford it. If you're tight, I would probably try sticking it out. Like if your bills are tight, I would try sticking it out as long as possible. I mean, Dallas Moore, for instance, when he rented his warehouse, it was half of what I paid for mine, and he had a bigger space and a nicer space.
Yeah.
So a lot of it depends on where you live in the country too. We're looking to move probably Central Mass or New Hampshire, Maine area, where we centrally located.
Cheap out there, right?
Well, you get a little more house. I want like a few acres of property. There's some properties I was looking at like 30 acres, so I can ride around on my four-wheelers.
But is there much hustling out there? Because I've even looked into that before. Because I know you can get a good bang for your buck. But is there many thrift stores and stuff out there? I don't know.
Well, we have family back this way, so we could go on little trips for 3-4 days, stay with family, go back, get
load up,
or, and I'm thinking I'm gonna eventually move on, away from clothing a little bit into
really.
It might not happen necessarily this year. Clothing will always be a big part of my business.
I wasn't expecting to hear that, man.
But it's going to be other things added into it that I've been working on. I've been doing. So it's kind of like, I enjoy clothing, but I've been getting a lot more knowledge and a lot of other things, especially like vintage advertising, just antiques in general. Have become, we have 2 storage lockers now, 2 10x20s, and there's stuff in there specifically for that. We haven't put it online yet, but we're kind of moving in that direction. Yep. But once I get situated and we buy a house, hopefully this year, we can, a lot of places we're looking for have another location on the property to where we could have, that would be our business.
That would be cool.
Either, it's another building or a barn, a little work. That could be our other space. Or it's large enough space that where we can build something on it for that, that I'm not paying somebody else. It's on my property. Tax it off, write it off, and I'm going to work, walk across the field.
Yeah, so people that are listening and they're hearing Ronnie say, I might pull back a little on clothing. I mean, I think that's a normal progression. Like for me, it's been happening like ever since I started reselling, like every year, because I'm an avid learner. Like I'm really interested in learning about different ways to make money online. You learn something new, and you are acquainted with more opportunities. It's natural when you first get started. There's some people in the comments that said it's my first week on eBay. I mean, that's going to be your main focus. But within a year, you're going to learn about different things, whether it's Etsy or Craigslist or Amazon FBA, or maybe you'll learn about. There's a million ways to make money online. So I think Ronnie, what's happening with you is you're seeing these opportunities and you're valuing your time more, and you're seeing ROI opportunities, because at the end of the day, we only have so much time, right? And we all have to feed our families, and not even that, but we want to enjoy our life too. I mean, for me personally, I don't know about you, but I get bored doing the same thing over and over again. Do you feel that way with eBay and clothing, to the point where you kind of want to switch things up just because you want to make life a little more interesting?
I think where I'm getting bored at right now is thrift stores. Like,
I felt like that for a while, man. I've been saying it for the last 2 months.
I think that happened over the summer, where I just wanted to go to estate sales and yard sales.
Yeah.
But as I'm leaning towards 2018, I know we're a year away, but goal for 2018 is probably going to be no thrift stores.
Really?
Everything is going to be estate sales, auctions. Wow. There's so many auctions I've realized around us, and there's a lot of good stuff you can get and make money on. I've been to a few. my first auction I went to, I got that Coke sign, I got some other Coke signs, and I actually could have made 4 or 5 times my money, even though I was spending good money on things. And larger ROIs, spend $400 to, sell something for $1,500-$1,600, and it's like, this might be a way to move in the future.
Let's jump ahead a little bit, because you're talking about these different things and these different pathways you're looking to go down, and getting away from thrifting. Hopefully in 2018, you were saying, for the person who is, let's just jump right to sourcing. For the person who's maybe brand new to eBay, or maybe first 90 days, because I know there's a lot of people in the comments, they said they're new, just listed 10 items in my store. Auctions, is that the way to go, or estate sales, or would you, in your opinion, does it not matter, or would you say start with a thrift store or with a garage sale based on your experience?
I think it all depends. A lot of it depends on where you live. Like, for instance, if you live down south, you could hustle yard sales almost all year round, and you're going to get stuff at a cheaper price than you probably would at thrift stores. And it's a great way to start. But like upstate New York, where my parents are, in middle of Cooperstown, New York, there's not a huge amount of what do you call it? Thrift stores. I'm trying to think of the thrift store.
Okay, I was going to say, I didn't know if you were going to say thrift stores or garage sales.
Yeah, so it's more spread out, and you're not getting the quality of stuff. Surprisingly, we've been up there recently. It was crazy, some of the stuff where we found up there. But at the same sense, auctions, you could go to a different auction like every 3 a day if you wanted to sometimes. And there's stuff at them that, it just depends on what your niche wants to be, what your knowledge is, what you want to. Clothing is not for everybody, depending on where you live. And there's so many different ways you can do clothing too. You could do what, like me and you kind of did, was more the higher, selling,
the higher price
stuff. $40, $50, $60 stuff. Or you could be like the, what's her name? Nicole States, and push the stuff out door like $15, and do high volume. It just depends on where you are, what your game plan is, but it can be done. I mean, everybody's showing it can be done from different parts of the country. Just depends if your heart's in it, if you really want to do it.
You've got to find what works for you. I think that's one of the messages I want to get across to you guys for 2017. Like, if you want to have a success on eBay, like, you also have to be happy and not be super stressed out. Like, for me, the whole high volume thing was just never for me. I would rather deal with less items, and I'd rather spend more time trying to source than doing that whole high volume thing. We interviewed Rockstar Flipper last night, and if you didn't see that show, go over to the Bonafide Hustlers channel. But he's a high volume seller, right? He sells, I think he's doing $10,000, $20,000 a month on eBay, selling hundreds of items. I'm not sure how many. But he's got 2 employees. He's got a full staff. So literally all he does is source. So you've got to figure out what works for you. Like on eBay, there's a million different niches. There's a million different types of items. There's a couple different business models that you can follow, right? What is it? The slow dime, the fast nickel. I mean, it's really up to you. Would you say that, for the people watching, they might be thinking, well, maybe Ronnie's going to auctions because there's a better opportunity to make more money. Maybe there's too much competition at garage sales or thrift stores. Have you noticed any differences with that for the folks that are coming in and they're new and they're wondering, is it the same, or is there too much competition?
I would say in the last few years, there is probably more competition, especially at thrift stores. Thrift stores is like a gateway drug to thrifting. I mean, it's like smoking marijuana or something. That's going to get you in the door, and then you move on to other things, it's just weird how everybody starts there, but then they branch out and move on and go here and go there. But there is more competition. You see people with
it's
their
definitely
phones.
increased.
I see people with my wife has one, the iPad.
Wait, they're at the thrift stores with iPads?
Yeah. There was a guy the other day, or a woman walking around with the iPad in her cart, and she was in the back sitting on like one of the couches, and you could see she was looking stuff up. She was putting the stuff in her cart, and then going to the. That's so time consuming, because now you're going through a store. I don't know how. I mean, and I'm very quick in a store. Me and you went out. We were through stores in 20 minutes, and let's go next door.
Yep.
You know, these people. I mean, there's people that told me they take like 2 hours in one store, or 4 hours in one store. And I'm thinking, did you check every single?
I used to be like that. I hate to admit it, but not 4 hours. But I would spend 2 hours in a store when I was first getting started, like going through every nook and cranny. I think it's because people they're so excited and they want to find their. I feel like the people who are new, their advantage, Ronnie, is going through every little piece of item. Because I noticed with you, I did, and even with me as well, you kind of flick, right? That's trademark. It's the Ronnie flick. Like that's Ronnie's move right there. He goes through and he flicks through the clothing rack really quick. And like you would methodically go through certain parts of the rack, almost as if you knew where the clothes were going. Like at Savers, you told me, I remember you stick to flicking through the end caps because those are where the new clothes typically go. Didn't you say that to me? Was that you?
They always put the newer stuff on the wherever it's broke by the brand, or not brand, by size.
But you could still miss things though. But at the same time,
but you know, if something looks interesting, you're gonna stop and check it out a little more, investigate.
Right.
But if it's this dirty looking flannel, you're probably going by it and not thinking twice about it.
Just looking through the comments. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask a comment. Ask a question in the comment section. I am looking through it right now. Excuse me. Looks like we have 176 people watching live right now. So, you know, Ronnie, I hate to, you know, hurt your feelings because I know we were aiming for 400 today.
We got 400 last time.
But unfortunately, I didn't send an email out to the green room email list, or else I think we could have gotten there. But you got to respect the list sometimes. You don't want to spam people with too many emails.
It's all good.
So I still love you, man. I was trying to get to 400 for you, but you know, Nicole State, we were actually talking to her because she's going to be on the Green Room show. She had told Bonafide we're aiming for 500 next week with her. So I don't know if you've interacted with her much, but I've watched her videos and she's kicking butt. So Ronnie, if anyone could beat the record, I think it might be her. So
she does have a great following. I think
her following is super loyal.
We had her on my channel about 3 months ago, and we got like 250, 300 people. And back then, she didn't have the following. You know, she had 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers, and you know me, I don't have that many subscribers. So it was odd. I mean, not odd, but it was good to see a lot of people come out and watch her, and you know, it was really cool. I mean, I talked to her here and there, probably at least once or twice a week, probably shoot messages back and forth.
She's got a good personality, really good energy, and she's consistent with videos. And I think the reselling community is craving some new content creators out there, because there's a lot of OGs out there, you know, who've been doing it for a while. You know, me, you, Chad, Ronnie, even Craigslist. Ronnie, that's you. What's his name? Craigslist Hunter. I mean, there's a lot of people who've been doing it, and I think that the community is craving some more content creators. Do you think there's going to be more, you know, bigger reselling channels popping up over the next couple of years?
I mean, the women seem to be doing the best right now. Other than like Pete. I mean, Pete, Craigslist Hunter, I mean, his channel has just grown so much. I think he's at like close to 40,000 subscribers.
Holy mackerel. So,
you know, and all the ladies of lately, a lot of them have done really well.
Yeah. I don't think there's enough ladies out there making videos, you know.
No, that's the thing. I mean, when you look at your analytics, you see where your issue is with the thing, and I'm definitely a little rougher on the edges. I need my wife in the videos with me.
Oh yeah, man, that'll grow your channel. But anyways, moving forward, I'm gonna keep popping into the comments. Actually, let me see if there's any questions coming in real quick. My screen's freezing a little bit. Thriftology says, Steve, I found two 2015 Polo Bear sweaters at Marshall's for $90 each. Bought them both. Thought about you. I'm keeping one. You know what's funny? I was actually at TJ Maxx and found, I don't know if it was a 2015, but it was a current Ralph Lauren polo tag, and it had the bear on the front. I think it was $100. I passed on it. I was just looking for clothes for myself, because I don't know, but Ronnie confirmed this for me. I'd say that the newer polo stuff with the big bear probably isn't going to be worth anything near the older stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's I'm just guessing blind.
I just noticed, like, because we went to when we were in Maine, there's a polo outlet up in Kennington, Kitty, or something like that. I forgot.
Yeah.
It's the first time when you go over. And I went there and they had a bunch of bear stuff. It was kind of like, oh wow, they're coming back with the bears. You know, I even bought the polo hat with the bear on it.
I want to get one of those hats myself. I love the bear on the hats.
I wasn't about to spend $100 on a sweater though.
No,
It's like, man, I can't do that.
Hey, we got a question from Joshua Hay. So what's going on, Josh? Thanks for watching. Steve, I have been struggling with managing my time on eBay and Amazon. Could you tell me how you manage your time between websites? So I'll give you a quick tip first, and then I'm going to get Ronnie's perspective on managing time. For me, lately, when I wake up in the morning, for the week, I usually have like two main outcomes that I want to accomplish for my business. Like for example, this week, my main outcome is I want to make $750 in sales in my new e-commerce store. And, maybe I'll have another outcome that's like, I want to make 2,000 on Amazon FBA. So I have my main outcomes, and during the week, and those are my main outcomes for the week. During the week, I schedule, a couple things each day that'll move me closer to that. So I think a lot of times people try to do too many things that don't really matter. They try to stay busy when in all actuality, to reach your goals, it's just a matter of typically doing a couple main things. So I would say figure out what those main things are and schedule them, and, chunk it out 1 to 2 hour blocks, and don't move on to any other tasks in your business before you accomplish those. So that's kind of how I manage my time and manage different income streams. Ronnie, what about you? How do you manage your time between making YouTube videos and special celebrity guest appearances on all these other channels and eBay and Amazon? And
I think when it comes to YouTube, I try to make the videos very quick and easy. Unfortunately, I don't put a lot of time or effort. I mean, I do put some effort into it, but it's not, I don't try to, there's no editing, I'll do a private hangout, basically record whatever I'm recording and make it live later. And, but, I do that to try to watch myself to make sure I don't do any mistakes. Because if I go on live, it usually turns into a lot longer thing. You see some questions. Next thing you know, you wasted 30 more minutes or 40 more minutes. You gotta do business and everything like that, trying to help out. It's not like you're getting a paycheck or anything like that. So you kind of got to watch your time and stuff like that. Sometimes I have to shut down freaking Facebook.
How do you figure out what to do each day, though? Because, there's a million things you could be doing, not only in business, but, taking care of your different things around the house. You've got a wife, you've got a whole bunch of different things going on, and managing finances. Like, when you wake up, how do you figure out how to manage your time and what to do? Or do you just kind of just go with your intuition?
Working for yourself, you just figure out when you wake up what you're going to do that day, or you're planning the day before, I'm not going to do anything tomorrow. Let's go to the movies or something in the middle of the afternoon. And you can do that because you work for yourself. Go there when it's cheaper and there's not all the people there to bother you at the movies.
And I know you've been known to do that, to bust ass for like 1 to 2 weeks straight, or even a month or two, and then go on a vacation to the Dominican.
We're going in May.
There we go. Weeks. So are you in grind mode right now that you realize that you've got this trip coming, or have you been able to build up a nest egg with eBay with savings and different things? Or are you still having to grind super hard to make sure that money's coming in when you're on your trip?
Yeah, well, I have a surgery coming up probably in March. So
okay.
I'm going to probably grind the next 6 weeks flat out and try to get to what I need to get done. I mean, we're moving a lot of stuff around to another storage unit that we have to kind of clear up the house. So there's some, the storm, I didn't even know it was going to rain. Snow, because that's kind of in the way of my plans now for the next 2 days. So I got to adjust on the fly and try to figure out something else to do. Got to push that along to a different day and so on and so forth. But it's just, you got to plan ahead sometimes, and it doesn't work. You just do something else, and that's about it.
We've got a question, Ronnie, from Danielle and Mia. Steve, what is the cheapest way to ship How do I select the right mailing company? So if it's 16 ounces or less, and you're printing your labels online, the cheapest way is going to be USPS, first class mail. What are some other cheap alternatives, Ronnie? Let's just say it's over 16 ounces. What's your preference way to ship something over 16 ounces?
If it fits in this bad boy right here, I'll put it in here.
I love that. That's like
flat rate envelopes. I mean, it just depends because it depends on the weight, where it's going. But I have a whole collection of everything from regional A boxes to other flat rate boxes, and it just depends. I mean, if it gets too heavy, it's going FedEx usually, or less. And I only do that if I have the item listed as FedEx.
Yeah, don't go priority and then realize you screwed up, and then because I've done that in the past and I've gotten away with it, but I'm like, I'm gonna get knocked eventually. Like, it because it says the date they're expected to receive it. So if it says the 3rd and then you decide to go that slow FedEx route, what's it called? FedEx
Smart Post.
Smart Post. It's gonna show up like the 7th. So
I did that with a bag, and I actually duffel bag, and they wanted it for a vacation, and it came after, and I got negative feedback on it. So,
but you learned, right?
Oh, you definitely learn. You definitely kick yourself and go, damn, why did that?
Why was I such a cheap? What?
It was over like $5 too.
I know.
And they were paying, and the sad part was they paid like $20 average ship priority mail, and I can pocket $5 sending this FedEx. It was just a total.
What a jerk! No, just kidding.
Well, when I got the feedback,
why did I bring you on the show?
Damn, that was so messed up. But I mean, we all make mistakes, and that's the thing. We've all shipped the wrong thing to the wrong person at some time or another.
I've shipped things like that item. I've shipped things that were fragile, and it would go first class. Like, it was just on the edge of first class if I put it in like a poly bag. But this thing's gonna break. But once you move over to the box, it goes to the, maybe it's going to California. It jumps from like $3 to like $9, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just put it in the poly bag and wrap a little bubble wrap around it. No, that thing got destroyed. Like, you learn, right? Just like you said. No one's perfect, and we could all pretend like we're a saint, but I think the honest truth is we've both tried to, pull a quick one, but eventually you get burned, right? There's only so many times you can do something, and it's like drinking and driving. You ever heard of those people? They drink and they drive, they drink and they drive, and then all of a sudden you get a DUI, and it's like, well, you're lucky that's all you got. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. What else we got in the comment section right now? Caesar wants to know, what are some good clothing brands to source for beginners? And I'll start with just Ralph Lauren and Brooks Brothers. Do your research to make sure you find out, what's popular in that brand, because there's a lot of differentiations. Is that too complex of a word for that explanation? But there's a lot of different styles, right, that go for good and don't go for as good. So
yeah, they have a lot of, I guess you could say, sub brands.
Yeah,
based within each one, especially with like when it comes to the suits and sport coats, they both have the marginal ones that don't do well. And then
what's the top one for Brooks Brothers with the suit? I know there's they have the gold
black fleece. Well, they have the black fleece, which is made by
isn't as good.
Tom Brownie. I think that's how you pronounce the name. They make all their black fleece stuff, and then there's Golden Fleece, and then there's Madison 818.
Is Madison under the Golden Fleece?
Yeah,
it is, because
Golden Fleece, I think, is like custom or bespoke.
Okay, yeah, so it's a custom made. Yep.
And it's a little higher quality if you're getting that custom made or exactly for somebody.
Right.
And everyone I've ever sold or found moves pretty quickly.
What are some other good brands that you like to mess with as a beginner? Pendleton's obviously, right?
Just not women's wear.
No,
and make sure it's wool.
Men's.
It has to be wool if you're gonna really mess with it too. The cotton or certain other materials do not do well with that brand. And there's Patagonia and there's just brands that you could find fairly regularly that are nice beginner brands that you could move. I mean, my favorite brand to find, I haven't found one in a while, Willis and Geiger.
Oh man, you told me about were you the one who told me that you went on Craigslist and popped on a bunch of leather jackets or
Yeah, I got
something?
3 of them from somebody.
Son of a gun. I can't believe that. This guy, I hate to say this because it's so not true, but like he's the luckiest son of a gun sometimes. The things he finds are just like, but it's not even luck. I mean, you go and you look and you do your research, and
You
you
just have to constantly
preparedness.
hustle, and
Yeah.
some of it's just being at the right place at the right time, the right call. I mean, it was funny because that lady, I was away when I seen the ad in Craigslist. I was in Dominican Republic. I tried messaging her like, "Hey, I'll send you the money PayPal." Man, I must have seemed like a scammer and a half. She was like, "Oh no, no, no."
I'm
She
from
had them.
the
She still had them for sale 2 weeks later. And I think what happens is when you get out towards that end of the Cape, when they put stuff on Craigslist, people don't want to come from Boston. They don't even want to come from Hyannis, which is 30, 40 minutes,
Yeah.
say 30 minutes away. They don't want to mess with it.
So what'd you make on that deal? What did you pay in total and what'd you make?
I paid like
guessing.
$250 for 3 of them, and I think the first one I sold for $430.
So you made $150 after all said and done just on the first one.
Yeah, and then the other 2 took a little longer to sell. One sold for like $250, and then I think the other one had like a rip on the end. It wasn't as good condition as the others. Eventually, that sold for like $150-ish, I think.
Helped you make a mortgage payment for the month.
Yeah, I mean, there's other times where I got even higher, more stuff off of Craigslist. It's just crazy. Or you go there and they're like, "Oh, I have more stuff. Are you interested in this too?"
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. Always ask, right? Always ask, do you have anything else? Because if you get a phenomenal deal on a couple items from one seller, there's a good chance that they're looking to sell some other stuff. Let's see. Chad, the Golden Finger Picker, is in the house. What's going on, Chad? You guys
Sidekick.
go over to Ronnie's Sidekicks channel, Golden Finger Picker, and watch the video he did where it's him and his wife, and they're talking about the challenges that they were going through with the house and everything. It was just a really motivational video. I actually messaged Ronnie, Chad, and I was like, that was a great video. So go subscribe to him. Chicago Crown Hustler in the house. What's up? What's up? Let's see. What other questions do we have for Ronnie? Okay, here's a good question from D Motez 275. Do you include invoices in with each shipment? And if you do, what kind, Ronnie?
I don't. It's a waste. For me, it's a waste of paper.
I put a thank you sticker on it, though. Sometimes, if I have them in stock, I put a little sticker that says, thanks for shopping. Leave a 5-star if there's any issues. Shove it. No, I'm just kidding. Message me and I'll take care of you. Do you do anything like that?
Nah, I used to do little things, but I never seen any big difference with like feedback left or anything like that. It's always been about 60% or anywhere between 40 and 60%, depending on the given month. People leave feedback. I've never gotten it any better. Doesn't matter what I do. One month when I started doing the invoices, though, I had a boatload of returns, including like 3 in one day for like $800. I freaking was like, I'm done with invoices. These people are saying what they're
invoice
spending.
cursed
what they're spending, and they're like, oh no, I'm returning that. Like, no. I don't know why, but it was like really bad month.
The invoice curse. Susie D, what's going on, Susie? Thanks for coming to the show. Susie asks, what do you know about the valet service eBay offers? Do any of you do this? So in the comments, if anyone does the eBay valet, let us know. Let us know your experience. I don't do it. Ronnie, I don't think you do it either. Didn't you try it once?
I've never tried it. I tried it with a different online service, not with eBay. eBay one, I buy some stuff off of eBay from a company that is the eBay valet service, and they do everything at like $9.99 auctions. It's really bad. If you're sending your stuff into that eBay and they were just blowing your stuff out at auction, I'd be kind of a little pissed off because there's things that sell extremely cheap on there occasionally, and it's like, holy shit. But you have no say. Once it goes to eBay, you really have no say over what they sell it at. And it's a and when you see some of them I've come across, they have like the eBay valet thing and everything. Their pictures are horrible. They list the suit jackets as V-neck jackets, one of them. I'm like, it's a blazer or a sport coat. It's not a V-neck jacket, you know, because of the sweater. It's like, I'm like, oh my God, who the hell's doing their listings?
It just reminded me of sometimes how people are just out of their mind. I remember one time I was at a Goodwill and I got in an argument with a worker because she was swearing to God that the long sleeve shirt was a blazer. And it was just, she would not give in because the long sleeve shirts were $5.99 and then the blazers jumped up to like $15.99. And like, we got the management and they all just shut me down and made me look like an idiot. And I'm like, am I living in a different planet? Like, what is going on right now? All their long sleeve shirts were blazers. So what are you going to do? It's crazy sometimes. What else do we have going on? International. I don't know if I already asked you this. Do you ship internationally? Should others ship internationally?
I mean, I ship international, but I'm so used to doing it. I've always done it. I mean, back from when I had to go to the post office and fill out the invoice forms, which are a pain in the
what is it? The
custom forms.
Yeah, the custom forms.
And so I'm so used to doing it, and it's so much easier online. You just press the button, and then I like where it says what the item is. I usually take that out, and I'll just put like men's shirt or something like that. So nobody knows exactly what they're getting. It's like, you send a Poland shirt to Italy, and it's like, no, we're not advertising what's in the thing. And you can use the global shipping program, which I set up both. So they can get to choose, hopefully, which one. And, you know, I don't really sell that much through the global shipping program. Most people want it shipped to them just regularly. I do almost all of it priority, though, because that way I can track most of it.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's it. I mean, last year when the prices went up, especially in the international, where they went up like 40%, I mean, it killed a lot of the international business now.
And these international buyers are already paying like up the what for these custom fees too in like different countries. It's like crazy what they have to pay, these import fees.
So now a lot of them send to like companies that send the stuff there and stuff like that, you know.
Ways around it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you send it, you still paying. Like my wife, we send stuff to her brother sometimes, so we send it to Miami, and then they forward it to the Dominican Republic in about a week. It's there pretty quickly.
Wow, that's interesting, because something happened with my friend the other day where he was kind of sketched out about this buyer, and then all of a sudden the buyer's like, all right, well, you don't have to ship there. We've got a company you could ship to in the US. And we were just like, he was running it by me and he's like, is this a scam? And I'm like, I think it is. Like, I've never heard of anything like that. So maybe that's what was happening right there.
Yeah, a lot of times there's a lot of different companies you'll see because they'll have like Sweet in the name, or there's a lot of them in like Seattle, LA, San Francisco, Miami. They'll say Sweet or something because they're getting sent to a thing. They'll have some type of usually long name. The one company wants you to write the it's in Compton or something. They want you to, it's like airline flights or something.
Yeah.
They have like multiple accounts and they want you to write the item number on the box, on the outside of the box.
Well, it's good to know. Thanks for sharing that, man. It's amazing the things that you can learn, right? Like for the folks watching who are, they're getting started, or even, even if you're making $5,000-$10,000 a month, right? I mean, Ronnie, you've been killing it for a while, and you're always doing these videos, watching videos, learning as much as you can, and stay humble, guys. It doesn't matter where you are, what stage you are in your business. There's always something to learn, and that's an example right there. We've got some people commenting about Coogi jeans in the comments section. What do you think about Coogi, COOGI? What do you think about that brand, Ronnie? Has it made you money in the past? Are there certain things you stick with, others that you avoid?
The only thing I pick up from Coogi, unfortunately, is the sweaters.
Yep.
And I've left some behind if they're not even that colorful, or they don't look like they're in the greatest condition. I'll be like, And sometimes some of the tags are suspect, because they changed hands. I think that Coogi has changed hands like 4 or 5 times over the last 10 years. That a lot of their tags, unless it's the vintage Coogi, you're kind of sketched out by, is it real? Is it not real?
So high ticket price. You don't want to sell a $150 thing for, and it's fake.
So I'll just, sometimes, especially if it's like a dull color, I'll be like, forget it. I don't want to be bothered.
But you got to find the colorful ones. I'll pass those up too. It's the same with Tundra, right? that brand could bring you in some really good money if it's really colorful.
That color, I mean, that's the thing. They have to be really colorful because that brand is just bottomed out in the last few years.
I haven't paid much attention to it.
I haven't come across a plunge sweater in a while, so thank God I haven't. But it took me like a while to sell a few that I had recently.
So I apologize. Like, I'm like blinking so hard because I have these lights. If you guys want, like, everyone's always like, Steve, how do you have such a nice like quality? Like, I've got these lights like going into my eyes, and I'm like, oh, I can't even keep them open. They're like blinding me right now. So, if anyone wondering why, like, I could see fine, but the lights are just ridiculous.
Do you stand too?
I stand because if I sit, I feel like I'm not as motivated and like in the conversation. If I stand, I'm like, I'm ready to rock and roll. So
okay, I know, I was just like the way you were moving around. I'm like, geez.
I'm dancing. I'm having fun. All right. So there's someone by the name of Min Tones Adventures. I think this person's asked like 20 times over the last 2 videos. So I'm gonna answer right now. They said, can you do a video on you just packing and shipping items? I actually have one on my YouTube channel. I think it's an Amazon FBA tutorial. I go from step 1 to step 15 doing the whole thing. So look it up. I've got a video on that already. I just wanted to address that. Prof Sales in the house. What's going on, Professor? Good to see you here. Prof Sales has been killing it, blowing up on YouTube. So thanks for coming and hanging out. Sandy Bow, what's going on? Just looking to see if there's any questions coming in. If you see any questions, let me know. Oh, here's one from Amber 51788. Question: do you think it's a good idea to buy pallets from auctions when starting off? Ronnie, because I have no clue.
Do I? You're asking the wrong person.
Sorry, we can't help you there.
Never bought a pallet before.
Can you talk about health insurance? Somebody wanted to know.
Yeah, I mean, my health insurance is through Obamacare, and I just went through our state regulated site and filled out the paperwork. I mean, it's not cheap. Health insurance is not cheap. It's just no way to put it around it. You know, you got to pay up for it. Unfortunately, I think I pay it's like $400 or $500 a month, somewhere in that. It just automatically comes out of my account every month.
Mine's moving up that way too. I think mine's been doubling every year for the last 2 years. It was like 100, then it went to 2, and now this year it's over 3 now. But you know, a lot of people say, you know, I keep my job because I have health insurance. Well, health insurance has a price. You know, for me, you can't put a price on the freedom, right? You can't put the price on being able to, you know, expand my income to pretty much whatever I want it to be based on how much I want to learn and effort I want to put out there. So, I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, you'll find a way to make up in that income to pay for, you know, the difference in, you know, health insurance versus being an employee and, you know, being an entrepreneur. Somebody asked, Steve, why aren't you making mini videos? Because I'm working on my my businesses, especially my e-commerce website. Been spending a lot of time building that up, and it's been a huge learning curve, and it's been a lot of investment, not only in time and effort, but money as well. So focusing a lot on that. If you are a power seller, eBay provides health insurance.
Oh, you can get it through them.
Is that true?
It is on there.
That was a joke.
And I'm curious if anybody has gotten it through them, eBay.
If it's like their eBay Valet, you ain't gonna get no.
They have a guy come over. It's like, hey, physical.
My leg is literally snapped in half. Oh, here's a Band-Aid.
You can still list, right? You still making us money?
Oh, my back hurts. Here's a V-neck blazer. All right, let's see what else is happening in the comment section. All right, where are we? Let's see. Question: do you price a little higher than you expect to sell it? So when people send offers, they might be roughly what you are looking to sell for. Antonio Russo. Good question. Roddy, what do you think about that?
I don't do offers on anything because I hate best offer. Whenever I did best offer, 9 out of 10 times, the offer was about 50%, you know, from where I wanted to be on the item. Yeah. So I did away with offers just this year. Well, started this year. We were talking with the wife that we were going to change a few different things. We were going to charge shipping for everything again. We got away with that from a few things. And then we changed the prices and we did some of the prices on things. to a more medium price range, just to, not, I don't know, it's like weird. If you ever notice, like, you run a sale to sell things, it's like, well, why don't you lower the price a little bit and it's going to sell most likely.
Yeah.
I do think there's some traction from running sales, but I have no, what do you want to call it? I have no real way to really back that up. I just feel that way,
I think eBay does have, they have an advantage to helping up to bump you up in the search engine when you run a sale, because there's a better chance of you selling the item. I mean, it's just proven with conversions. When you run sales, you're gonna sell more stuff. So I honestly believe, I've never done any case studies, but just from my experience, when I run sales, I mean, I tend to make more, obviously make more sales because the price is lower. But I do think that eBay gives you a little bit of love and the algorithm boosting. But again, who really knows? Sorry, guys. I'm just looking to see what's going on. Oh, somebody asked about Andrew Wilson says, anyone ever sell Duluth Trading Company? I love that brand. What do you think about it, Ronnie?
I've sold a few pieces here and there, but only if they were new. I've never picked up any pre-owned pieces to sell.
I've done really well with the sport coats. It's kind of like an outdoor sport coat, and a lot of them are like 2X, 3X. I've done very, very well with those. Gem Properties, what's going on? JEM, what accounting method do you use? Let's get a little technical right now, Ronnie.
I use Outright. Oh,
Outright.
no. Outright
GoDaddy.
is now GoDaddy.
Yeah.
I always, because you still, when you punch it in the computer, it still for whatever reason, it's still saved under Outright. So, I mean, that's how I have I have my American Express and my PayPal debit card linked up to it. And as I use those cards, automatically goes there. I just have to switch, like, what category it's going to, like if it's cost of goods or if it's gas for the truck or whatnot. And it's very easy because it imports all your eBay, it imports all your PayPal information, your Amazon information. I don't think they do it for Etsy that I'm aware of, but it keeps track of all that stuff. I mean, it's crazy. I was just looking at it the other day. There was stuff for Amazon. It's like gift wrapping. I was laughing. I mean, that's how detailed the list gets,
Yeah. Yeah, I used Outright / GoDaddy bookkeeping for a while. I did get rid of it at the end of 2016, a couple months before, and I actually hired a bookkeeping service and I hired a new CPA. So I've got them on my team because for me, I've got a lot of different things I'm doing. And when I added up the hours to get everything all situated and prepared, it made sense for me to hire somebody onto my team. So I went that route. I don't suggest doing it if you're new, just because it is going to cost you, if you get a really good company, it could cost you up to a couple $100 plus per month to do. But I think GoDaddy is a great, excellent resource. And I think it's $100 a year, Ronnie? And
yeah, it's $10 a year. I mean, $10 a month, or if you pay for the whole year, it's like $100. And someone did just say that they do have Etsy also, so that's pretty cool. I mean, it transfers over everything. Because I don't have a lot going on, eBay and Amazon, it's very easy for me. But I could see if you had 5 or 6, 7 different selling platforms, and some of them were not linked to that account, to where it could be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, some people are asking about taxes. Get yourself an accountant or a CPA, or even if you want to, this is a little ninja hack, even if you want to learn about some basic, accounting and bookkeeping and tax stuff, interview a bunch of tax professionals, right? Even if you're not 100% sure if you have the money to do it, just interview a bunch of them. I mean, don't do it knowing that you're just going to steal information from them for free, but interview a bunch of them, because you'll usually get 30 to 60 minutes free consultation with each one, and you could learn like a ton. I mean, when I went through interviewing different CPAs and getting referrals, I learned so much before I even hired my CPA. So that's a good little tip right there. Somebody says getting a CPA this year, it's becoming way too much work and time consuming. I mean, yeah, when you get to that point, guys, you want to start hiring up your team, right? Whether it's a virtual assistant to help you with repricing or doing different things in your back end of Amazon, or maybe, you hire someone to help you take pictures, or maybe you hire a CPA or a bookkeeper on your team. That's up to you. But, those are reseller problems as you start to get a little more advanced into your business. Jonathan Winnie, first time viewing live chat. Love your guys' channel. Thanks, Jonathan. Tyox, how many items do you post weekly, Ronnie?
Last week I posted about 100 over 2 days.
That's really good. That's solid.
Yeah, it's because we had a lot of stuff. And it was funny, I started going faster. I was going because we had a bunch of jeans, and once I got into the jeans and pants, I was like, oh, this is faster. I was getting a little faster, and the sport coats and suits take a little bit more time.
Do you have a when you're doing, like, for example, say you have a pile of goodies, right? And it's maybe you've got 100 items, like the 100 clothing items. Were they all clothing items that you listed?
Yeah, basically.
So you've got those 100 clothing items. Are you separating them? I don't know if you just answered that because I was looking at the comments, but do you separate like the jeans, the sport coats, and like all the other things, like the similar products? And then when you list, you'll like bang out all the jeans, all the sport coats. So then you can maybe have like a template that you just keep reusing that makes it easier, or selling like as, or just sell similar.
I do it basically. I have my templates, but most of the time you get into it, I'll go through a bunch of dress shirts first, sell similar, and just change some keywords, change the pictures, change the measurements, and then go on to the next thing. And I could bang out probably, I don't know, I've done 10, 12, 15 an hour. Probably about 12 an hour. You get really into it and you just keep going. But it's hard to keep at that pace because I get especially at the house. I get sidetracked sometimes, and I start all of a sudden Facebook will start going off, and I'm like, "Ooh, what's going on?"
What are your thoughts on people who just want to list a couple items a week on eBay versus the person who wants to go 100 items a week? Does it, do you feel like people shouldn't sell on eBay if it's only a couple things, or do you think it's okay? Because I see a lot of people criticizing both sides. Like, really, I've seen both sides. I've been at the point where I was going full blast. That was my only thing. And people were criticizing me saying, you've got your eggs in one basket. What if something goes wrong? And then nowadays, where I'm listing very little on eBay because I'm focusing on other things, people say, you should keep up with it. You should do this, do that. What are your thoughts on that? Because I feel like you're even going to be probably going through that situation yourself in the next, couple of years, 2018, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, people are always going to tell you what they think is best for you, and you know what's best for you. That's it. You go through phases, and the whole listing thing every day, some people swear by it. They swear list 5 things a day. But the way things are going with my store, I constantly have, because I do 30 days listings, so there's stuff constantly ending every day, and then I relist it again. So it's almost as I'm listing every day. In a way. But I'd rather just get all my listings done, move them on, separate a 6-hour block of time or something for that day, and just go right through it, and then move on to something else, like source 10 stores in one day, get the stuff. And then, wife will do the pictures. That day I'll do some straightening up or something of things, and then, 2 days to list usually. After about 50 listens, I get tired or bored.
There's only so many you can do, man. I'm trying to think of what my highest listing day ever was. I think it was 40 or 50. I don't think it was anything more than that, man. I have done like 70 or 80 with somebody's help, but by myself, nowhere near that. Man, it's been a fun show. We covered a lot of cool information, and at times I even forgot I was live. It was just like, that's the cool thing about, chatting with folks like you. It just, it's easy to talk, man. It's just talking shop, and, it's fun to connect with like-minded people. There's a lot of cool people in the comment section right now. So if you guys enjoyed this show, let us know. Give us some feedback. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, smash that like button, see how many likes we can get. It's funny, as a content creator, you're just like, you're always looking like, how many likes? Oh, there's dislikes. And then like, sometimes, we put a lot of effort into these videos, and sometimes it takes more time than people realize to put these videos out, from scheduling it to creating the videos, answering comments. So, we appreciate you guys. Hit the like button. Smash the like button.
We had people giving me in chat a hard time Tuesday night because I was out all day and I came home like a half hour before the show, and Chad was moving all day. They're like, "You guys seem tired or not really into it." It's like,
you're supposed to
we
be a
scheduled
machine.
the show, but man, we are both been up all day. We're doing the show, but it was.
I've
good.
scheduled shows before too, like 2 weeks in advance, and like it's that day, and you're just like super sick, or like you're just like, I do not want to do this show at all. But you know what? You're like, it's not just about us, because believe it or not, has this ever happened to you where someone like comes up to you, Ronnie, and they're like, wow, like you've really helped me, you've changed my life, or they've really been thankful. Like, has that ever happened to you at a thrift store or anywhere? Or
I mean, it's happened on thrift stores quite often. Surprisingly, how many people I run into. It's at least one a month, if not more. And then I kind of realize how much competition there is around me. And then, I mean, today I was on the phone. I took time out to call somebody that's just started reselling, and call them and talk to him for a little bit. He watches mine and Pete's channel and wanted to thank me for getting him into this. And
that's what it's about, man.
So I mean, it was cool. I just wanted to, I don't know. Sometimes you just know when that person needs maybe a little push or a jump, and you know what, you could call them, and maybe it means the biggest thing just to hear from somebody else that they can do it, and it's possible, it's attainable. And that's the thing. This is attainable. It can happen. But there is work, and that's the big thing. It's not easy.
Whether you want to do a couple items a week or a couple hundred, that's up to you. Whether you want to supplement your income with, extra $50 a week, or, you want to be like Ronnie or Rockstar Flipper, or, other folks out there who are making a significant amount. I mean, it's up to you, but I think eBay is a great platform. I think 2017 is going to be a bright future for, a great year for eBay. The opportunities are out there, garage sales, thrift stores, auctions, pawn shops, estate sales, right? Buying off of eBay, buying off of Craigslist to flip on eBay, like Ronnie did with the Wilson Geiger jackets. I mean, the opportunities are out there, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you. I want to stick to the time limit. I know, Ronnie, you might be tired, man, because you've been working all day grinding, and so am I. But it's been fun. So thank you, Ronnie. Follow him over at, what's your channel?
Heart Pickers. You can find us on YouTube at Heart Pickers. Also on Instagram, same thing. You'll get pictures from time to time, but just if I'm out and about or at a thrift store, I could be. It just that one is so random pictures I put up, but it's usually of something.
You got some good stuff on there, I've seen.
And then, you can catch. We have a live show every Tuesday night on my channel, Pickers Church, with me and Golden Finger Picker, and every Friday night on his channel, it's Reseller whole show with me, Chad, Golden Finger Picker, and also Pete, the Craigslist hunter. So I mean, it's good to get out there and just
network,
have a show, talk shop, and just have fun. Sometimes we don't even have a topic; you just go into it, and the show and the audience take it wherever they want it to go.
I think there's a lot of value in that too. The interaction part. YouTube's a very social platform, and I think it's important to interact with the people in the comments and answer their questions. So, yeah, follow Ronnie. We appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Have a great new year, and I'm sure we'll have Ronnie on the show again, maybe mid-year or earlier, and get an update on how he's doing. So, thanks, Ronnie. Thanks everyone in the comments. Appreciate the likes, comments, subscriptions. You guys have a great year, and take care.
See you guys later.
Bye.